Hello and welcome back to JustRP. So as I've said in a couple earlier episodes, I said I would be hopefully making monthly episodes basically recapping everything that has went on the server, at least from our side, with different changes, updates, and additions to the server for JustRP. And today we're going to be doing the first one of those. So first of all, in this video, just to give you guys kind of an outline of how this is going to be structured, because I am going to be making these a monthly video, so be sure to look out for them. But starting off, we're just going to talk a little bit about kind of what I've seen in the community, as well as just what we've seen during our first month, because honestly it was been pretty crazy. We've had I think right now currently we're sitting at around 1200 member count, and we are consistently hitting our player cap almost every single day and having an average of anywhere from 50 to 60 players on during some decent hours. So far honestly the support has been crazy for the server, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for everything. The server honestly is going really well so far. We have been spending a ton of time trying to make sure that the server is going to be as perfect as it can be, and again, changes and everything will still be happening over the coming months, especially during this first period where the server is first releasing. We are going to be probably making a ton of changes and probably changing a bunch of stuff on the server, so be sure to know that there is going to be a lot of stuff that is changed, just because of course again this is only our first month, so there's still going to be a ton of changes that are going to be taking place. Now, again, to start off, we're going to be going over the changes slash general things that we have done to the server and general events that have happened on the server for the first month. Then we're going to be going into all of the updates we did for the first month, and then ending it with all of the additions. And then after that, we're just going to talk a little bit more about the server. Not a ton on the end of this video. Again, I want to make these videos pretty fast, but let's start off with everything that we've done for our first month for changes. At least, again, I'm only going to include the big ones, as I don't want to make this video super long, so we're just going to kind of go through this list, kind of go pretty fast. Now of course I'm only including the big stuff we changed, because obviously we changed a lot of stuff in the back end here and there, but yeah, we don't want to give that all the way to the community, just because obviously some stuff can get metagamed, and because not all of it is super important. Some of it's just like a teeny tweak here. This thing got moved to this thing got moved to here. Not everything is super important. So again, let's start off with the changes and general things that have happened on the server this first month. Alrighty, so starting off, the server went live on the 1st of February this year. Obviously we had a pretty decent amount of players on. Of course, we did a beta test I believe a day or two beforehand. We were averaging anywhere from 20 to 40 players. Nothing too crazy. Obviously we were dipping here and there, we were peaking here and there, but nothing crazy for the first couple days of the server. And the server did eventually start to grow and grow. And then on the 5th of February we actually decided to change Oxy and Weed a little bit to fit with the server expectations, as they weren't exactly in line with what we wanted, both for the economy as well as just the payout for the different jobs. Then moving on to the 6th, we actually hit our goal of 500 members literally 4 days into our server being live. Almost 5 days into our server being live, we hit our 500 members, which in my opinion was pretty crazy to hit 500 members that fast. On average, I think we were gaining around 100 members a day. Again, pretty crazy stuff, pretty crazy support for the server so far. And then on the 6th, the same day that we hit those 500 members, we also had updated our website, and we also had updated it to show the top in-city moments, which these moments were chosen from the Discord, where people can show off stuff that goes on in the city, and then if people react to it on Discord, it will then show up on the website once a week. There will be kind of the top of the week ones that people can look through, and it's just nice to have on the website in general. And then moving on, about 6 days after this, we had noticed that during mining we were encountering a lot of lag, as people were hoarding stones. People were just, obviously just mining a ton of stones, keeping it in their car, keeping it in their apartments, keeping it on their person. So we decided to change the weight of stones from 5 to 8. This would slightly nerf mining, as we had thought it was a little bit too overpowered and it was becoming kind of the meta on the server, and it still is. Honestly, to this day we're still working on it to fine tune it, but we had changed stones to 5 to 8 pounds, of course, to slightly nerf mining and also cut back on the server load, thankfully, because of the amount of items. We had also added degrading for all items as well. And then that's pretty much it for the changes. Now on the 27th, about 4 days ago, again, this number might not be completely correct, but I believe it was either on the 27th or the 26th, we actually had hit 1,000 members, which again is pretty damn crazy for a server not even being out a month. We were already hitting 1,000 members in the Discord. Awesome stuff here, and really appreciate everyone's support. Next, we're going to be going into some of the major updates that we did to the server. So again, let's go into that right now. Alrighty, so starting off, there wasn't a ton of big updates that we did. Obviously, we did some stuff here and there, but most of that is also going to be in the additions part of this video. So starting off with the 6th of February, we added the /my_key command. So if you crash or if you log out or if something happens and you don't have the keys to your car, you can just do /my_key and immediately get the keys to your car back. It was definitely a worthwhile feature to add in, as we had seen a lot of players getting very frustrated with somehow losing their keys if they had gone away from their car for too long, crashed, or just a myriad of different scenarios where the players would not have their keys to their cars. So the /my_key command really helped us out there as well, so players didn't have to go and either wait for their car to despawn or go respawn their car. They could just do /my_key and get their keys back instantly. Then about a little bit longer, on the 15th of February, we had actually updated the inventory completely on the back end, as well as a new UI and in a dynamic weight system, and we thought this was really nice inventory. Also works a lot better than the old one, and it's a lot more customizable for players. And we also added on the same day that you're able to rebind your inventory key through the native settings, and then obviously key bindings, and then 5M on the GTA to make it a lot easier for you to be able to rebind your inventory, because not everyone likes F2 as their inventory. Some people like other keys, so we allowed players to then rebind their inventory key to any key that they want. The day after that, on the 16th, we had actually added more crafting recipes using bud or weed, and also on the same day we had added a bud shop job role for the best bud shop that allowed us to hire people, also allowed them to do some certain crafts, and allowed them to kind of be employees for this new best bud shop that we have had on the server for a while. We finally decided to add some employees to it, as well as it being a whitelist job to really promote RP here, as it is near Legion Square and kind of near the hotspots of the server. And it honestly became a pretty cool hangout spot with a lot of people being there almost all the time, socializing, buying stuff, and trading. It became a really nice spot on the server. And then the last kind of big update we did to the server recently, that was not just adding in a new feature but was instead updating something, was we actually changed the Vespucci PD that we had originally and moved it over to MRPD. We found that a lot of people with the Vespucci PD either didn't know where it was, or they kept going to MRPD, or it's just the Vespucci PD was not really near anything either. And a lot of cops are really frustrated having to go all the way to Vespucci, as well as a lot of players not even knowing where it is, even though it's on the map, and it just not being kind of a familiar place. So we did move it over back to MRPD, and I believe this is a lot nicer location, so just kind of more in the hotspot of Legion Square, and could really allow players to actually know where it is consistently and allow PD to have a more accessible area. And that's going to be about it for the major update that we have done recently. Again, we are always updating and changing minor stuff here and there, but I didn't want to include obviously all of that in this video. The third section, of course, we're going to be talking about the additions that we added to JRP in this first month. So starting off on the 10th of February, we had added new payphones to the server. Now with these, basically you can go up to any payphone in game and do /payphone space the number you want to call, and you're going to be able to call players' numbers or call other numbers without having to use a cell phone. So this really promotes some kind of on-the-run RP. Say if you're wanted from PD, you maybe don't want to have a cell phone on you, so maybe you drop your cell phone off and just use payphones to call people and memorize their numbers instead, or write them down on some notes or something like that. We thought it was a really cool addition, especially for prison. You're also able to use the payphones there. If say cops or another player takes your phone from you, you're still able to use payphones both in the prison as well as in anywhere on the map. You're able to do /payphone at, and we honestly again thought this was a pretty damn cool feature and hadn't really seen it done on many other servers. Then about 3 days after that, we had added a brand new prop system for EMS/mechanic and PD roles, as well as some other whitelisted jobs, that allows certain whitelisted jobs to be able to use props from their trunk to create scenes or more in-depth RP scenarios by hitting F9 on their trunk, and then they are able to select a couple different props to grab, and they're able to place them down and move them or delete them as they see fit. And we thought this really adds to a lot of scenarios, and that especially for cops and EMS, like say there's an accident, cops are now able to set up an actual roadblock, or say there's an injury and AMS is able to set up maybe like cones or something around the injured party. It really does add, I think, a lot to the immersion of the server, and was a really nice addition in general. On that same day, we also added a new forum section under groups for players to post RP events that have gone on the server, and also show off different RP things that have happened within their group and or gang. And also at the same time, we had now allowed that there is a official factions. Now we don't have any of these currently, but if us as admins see certain gangs posting a lot on the forums of different RP they're doing, and or just see a lot of RP from different gangs and or businesses, both legal and illegal, then we obviously may want to move them into an official faction, quote unquote, or give them some tasks to hopefully become an official faction. And we hope once we start making these official factions, we can really work with these groups and really provide some cool RP for the server. Now again, we don't have any currently, but if you guys are doing some really cool RP on the server, I recommend please posting on the forums, as us here at JustRP really want to make the people that are striving to give good RP to the server and reward them for that, and allow them and give them different opportunities to be able to RP even more. Later on in the month, of course, on the 22nd of February, we had added Sudafed in a whole new meth cooking system. It was actually pretty in-depth, as if you had seen a video, I think I made a video on it a little while ago, but there's different materials you have to gather around from the different spots in the city, bring it basically here, and then you're able to cook meth. And there's also some risks and rewards you get from doing this. Again, I'm not going to go into all of them in this video, but we thought that there was a really cool system and definitely gave off the kind of drug lab vibe, and we were really hoping that some gangs would try and take these over and kind of tax people or kind of run it as their own, which we haven't seen yet, but I guess we'll see if that happens in the future. But either way, we added in that new drug lab and thought that was a really cool feature as well. And then ending off this additions part of this video, we added in a /car radio on the 26th of February, allowing players to play copyright-free music in their cars and from their cars. With obviously the louder the volume of the car radio, the more people are going to be able to hear it outside of your cars, and also obviously it's going to be a lot louder inside your car as well. But we thought this was a really cool addition as well, especially since it will only allow you to play copyright-free music. We don't have to deal with anyone who is streaming or myself who's making YouTube videos having to deal with that. We made it so you can only play copyright-free music. And again, I thought this was a really cool and immersive feature. Instead of having players having to play it through either their mic or through TeamSpeak, they're actually able to play it through their car radio in-game at a high quality of audio. And I think that's going to be about it for the additions. Next, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the future of JRP, what we've seen so far, and what you guys should hopefully look forward to seeing. So let's talk a little bit about that right now. Alrighty, so again, first off, this first month was absolutely crazy. I did not think we were going to get anywhere near the amount of support that we did this first month. It was absolutely amazing, and I just want to say again, first of all, a big thank you from the whole JRP community as a whole. We really do appreciate all the support and all the people joining, all the people creating some really great RP characters, some great scenarios, some great events, and just overall having a very positive community so far on the server. Now, talking a little bit about the future of JRP, again, this is the first monthly recap I've done, so we're not going to have a bunch of stuff to talk about the future, as everyone is still kind of finding their way in the city. There's still a lot of people kind of grinding out the initial amount of money they need to make and then RPing, so there's still a lot of stuff that's being changed very fast. I know our main goal right now, or at least one of the main goals that we're working on right now, is to really balance out the economy and try and get rid of the meta jobs, try and create a big diverse selection of jobs for people to do, and also allow people again with those really cool RP business ideas to be able to support them in what they want to do as well. Now, I really think that having those forums, or the forums that we had added for the both legal and illegal factions, can really help with this, as people can really show off their RP and kind of give a spotlight for the admins to look more into their groups and, hey, oh wow, these guys are doing some great RP, maybe we'll support these guys in some way. And I really think that adding those groups to the factions, and then also having us make official factions when we see groups that are really showing some really good RP, is really going to help facilitate this. But again, that's going to be, I think, pretty much it for this episode. We went through most of the stuff that we did for this month, or at least all of the important stuff. And yeah, I think that's going to be about it. Again, hopefully going forward, these videos will get a little bit more in-depth and more in-depth as we go on. Again, this was only our first month, so I'm trying to make this whole video be as concise as it can be. But again, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys do want to join JustRP, the links are the first two in the description. And if you guys have been enjoying the videos I've been making here on either JustRP, other servers, or GTA RP in general, make sure to subscribe. And if you want to, leave a like, and I will see you in the next video.